in the heart of West Africa, inside the buzzing, chaotic, drama-filled world of Nduka University, where students carried dreams on their backs and Wi-Fi passwords on their lips, lived a girl named Amara, a first-year student with big eyes, a bigger smile, and the biggest collection of maybe tomorrow God will do it hairstyles. Amara was not poor. She was village rich, the kind of rich that came in the form of yam barns, palm trees, goats that produced twins every season, and a mother who could bargain down the price of anything, even oxygen, if given the chance. Her father was a respected catechist, and her mother, Mama Oyugo, sold groundnut paste so good that even enemies would lick their fingers before remembering they were supposed to be angry. But one thing God didn't give Amara was hair volume. Her hair was so thin that whenever the wind blew, her scalp would greet the public like a politician waving from a campaign bus. She wasn't ugly, no. She was beautiful in that quiet, warm way that grew on you. But beauty on campus was like data plan. You needed extra packaging to stand out, and packaging was expensive. Unfortunately, Amara's mother believed wigs were created by the devil to tempt university girls into vanity. Every time Amara called home asking for money to buy a wig, her mother would shout, "You have head. Is that not enough? Did your grandmother wear wig? Did I wear wig before I married your father? Wig will not add sense to your brain." So Amara remained wigless and, according to her friends, unserious with life. However, Amara shared room 29, Block D of Queen Esther Hostel, with two roommates, Kamsi light-skinned, loud-mouthed, and owner of 5 original bone-straight wigs, valued at the same price as 2 semesters' school fees. Adaura, dark-skinned, curvy, with eyelashes long enough to sweep the hostel corridor. She had 8 wigs, none original, but all frighteningly convincing. These two girls were the self-appointed queens of packaging. Every morning, their room transformed into a beauty salon environmental hazard zone filled with wig stands, lip glosses, edge controls, makeup bags bigger than Ghana Moscow hair, straighteners sizzling like sacrifice offerings. They would spend 2 hours applying foundation, contour, concealer, lip liner, lip gloss, setting spray, and finally, a wig that transformed them from normal humans into walking Instagram filters. Then they turn to Amara and say randomly, "My dear, life is hard, but you don't have to look hard too." Or, "Amara, your natural beauty is good, but natural beauty is no longer trending." Or the one that pained her most, "Try borrowing wig from someone, anyone, for your own future." Amara laughed it off, but inside her heart, a tiny seed of insecurity began to grow, watered daily by her roommates' backhanded compliments and the pressure to belong. Every university story has a boy. For Amara, that boy was Ebuka. Tall, dark, handsome, engineering student, voice like a morning radio presenter, shoulders broad enough to carry Nigeria's economic problems. He was the dream of half the girls in Anduka University and the prayer point of the other half. And somehow, he started greeting Amara, not a casual, "Hi." No, a real, "Good morning, Amara," accompanied by a smile. The first day he said her name, she almost fainted. She didn't even know her ID card was visible. But her roommates, they behaved like examiners marking scripts. "Amara, this boy likes you," Adora said, applying lip gloss for the 7th time that morning. "But how will he take you serious when you look like a church usher on a Tuesday prayer meeting?" "Borrow wig now," Kamsi said, "just small packaging. Boys like hair. Boys love bone straight." their words mixed with excitement or fear and the desire not to lose a good boy to girls who had more hair than sense. The seed inside Amara's heart began to sprout. Um, One fateful Friday, the student union government announced the biggest event of the semester, the Royal Freshers Welcome Night, a night of competition, dance, spotlight, and the chance for one lucky fresher to win 80,000 naira cash prize, a scholarship for one semester, and mentorship under the vice chancellor's wife herself. To Amara, that scholarship meant freedom from begging her father for money, and the cash prize meant maybe, just maybe, she could finally buy her own wig. But her roommates laughed until their eyelashes almost fell off. Amara, with which hair will you stand on stage? You want to embarrass our room? Why not borrow one wig? It was Adaura who finally offered hers. It was a magnificent wig, long, curly, shiny, behaving as though it had its own passport and social status. It was the type of wig that turned girls into slay queens and slay queens into motivational speakers. But there was a catch. Adaura's wig was spiritually temperamental. Not in the evil way, no. In the dramatic way. If you handled it roughly, it tangled. If you applied too much heat, it burned. If you straightened one side, the other would misbehave. Adara treated the wig like first-born child. And she had one rule. If you lose this wig, your generation will hear from me. Amara should have known wearing it was a bad idea. But peer pressure is like sugar cane, sweet at first, regretful later. So she borrowed the wig, and that was how her destiny entered voicemail. At exactly 8:15 p.m., Amara stepped into the auditorium wearing Adora's prized wig, a borrowed red gown from her cosmate, shoes from Kamsi, and confidence from heaven. When she entered, heads turned. People whispered, "Who is that girl? See her! Ah, freshers are not playing." Even Ebika's mouth opened slightly. He stared at her like someone seeing revelation. For the first time in her life, Amara felt like a superstar. She walked differently, talked differently, even smiled like someone with small money in her account. She competed in the spoken word category, and her poem melted the crowd. Her voice carried pain, hope, and humor. At the end, the audience stood up and clapped like she had just delivered National Manifesto. When they announced the top three finalists, Amara's name came first. Everything was perfect until Destiny remembered it had unpaid bills. While waiting backstage for the final announcement, Amara stepped outside to breathe fresh air. A small wind blew, just a harmless breeze. But Adaura's wig, that wig had pride. It reacted like a warrior provoked. The wind lifted it slightly. Amara held it down. The wig lifted again, higher. She held it tighter. Then suddenly, whoosh! The wig flew off her head like a bird escaping captivity. It didn't gently fall. Oh, no, it soared, floating majestically, flying with purpose, heading straight toward the front gate like it had an appointment with freedom. Amara screamed, "My destiny! Come back!" Students turned. Some screamed. Some laughed. One boy shouted, "See, Wigway get wings!" Amara kicked off her shoes and ran after it. The wig was rolling on the ground like a lamb possessed. It rolled left, then right, then it caught onto a motorcycle passing by. The Okada man, confused, shouted, "Ah, sir! Wetin be this?" and sped off with the wig, with the destiny, with Amara's future. Amara chased the bike, barefoot, gown lifted, shouting, crying, praying, sweating, regretting her entire existence. But university nights are merciless. Within minutes, the motorcycle disappeared into the darkness, and the wig was gone. That was the moment Amara realized she was finished. She didn't return to the stage. She didn't wait for results. She didn't greet Ebuka. She went straight to the hostel, barefoot, mascara running, wigless, looking like spiritual attack made into human form. When Adora saw her, the scream that left her mouth could have cracked glass. Where is my wig? Kamsi held her head. Amara, don't tell us destiny blew away wig. Adora cried louder than Amara. She wailed. She rolled on the floor. She said her ancestors were calling for blood. Amara cried and explained. Adaora cried and threatened. Kamsi cried for no reason. By morning, the whole hostel knew. Wig don't go. The next day, Adaora dragged Amara to the market. The exact wig cost 52,000 naira. To Amara, it felt like they were calling 52 million naira. She called home for help. Her mother refused. Borrow wig? Borrow wig? Are you a bank? Her father shouted, What concerns you with another person's hair? Go and face your books. So Amara began paying in installments, suffering financially, emotionally, academically, spiritually. Her meal plan became breakfast, water lunch, biscuits, dinner. Hope her grades dropped. Her self-esteem dropped harder. And Ebuka, he approached her once to ask what happened that night, but she was too ashamed to speak, so he walked away and never came back. Months passed. Amara changed. She stopped trying to look like her roommates. She started paying more attention in class. She joined the spoken word club. She attended workshops. She began writing again. Slowly, her confidence returned. One day, the vice chancellor's wife happened to attend one of the spoken word events. Amara performed a poem about identity, peer pressure, and self-worth. Her words cut through the air like a blade made of truth. After her performance, the woman walked up to her and said, My dear, your voice carries fire. You have a gift. Come and see me on Monday. That meeting changed everything. Amara received a book writing scholarship, a leadership mentorship program, and a paid opportunity to perform around campuses nationwide. Her roommates were shocked. Kamsi whispered, Is it not natural hair she used that night? Adora sighed. Maybe destiny no day like wig. For the first time, Amara smiled at them without bitterness. Years later, Amara became a campus-renowned writer, a motivational speaker, a graduate with honors, a woman who found her path without wigs, packaging, or pretense. She eventually met Ebuka again during an alumni event. He greeted her with that same warm, gentle smile. But this time, she wasn't shy. She wasn't trying to impress. She wasn't borrowing anyone's identity. She simply said, Good to see you again, Ebuka. He replied softly, You look complete. And she truly was. A year after graduation, Amara visited Onduka University. The school security guard recognized her and said, Madam, come and see something. Behind the security office hung a dusty, tangled, shriveled object nailed to the wall. It was Adaora's wig. The guard said, This thing flew into our checkpoint one night. Since then, we hung it here to warn students. A wooden sign was placed under it. Do not borrow what does not belong to you. Even destiny can be misplaced. Amara burst into laughter. Pure, healing laughter. She touched the wig gently and whispered, Thank you for running away that night. You helped me find myself. Moral lessons. Borrowed identity leads to borrowed destiny. Peer pressure is the thief of authenticity. What you think you need to shine may be the very thing dimming your path. Self-worth is not worn on your head, it shines from your heart. Packaging may attract people, but truth keeps them. Destiny does not follow fake versions of you.